Okay.
We're starting?
Go. Hello everyone, I'm sorry I can't be with you today. I'm off doing some CITM implementation information sessions, but I'd like to take this opportunity to talk about one of the features that we've been working with the Fringe team in relation to the Vocational Education Employer Self-Service, the VESE. Sorry, I'm reading off notes here to make sure I get it right. And I just thought it'd be good to talk about the approach that we've taken, because it's actually quite a big item, and how to break it down so that the different stakeholders at the different levels felt comfortable with where we're at. So I suppose the beginning of the process was at the PI planning for PI1, and what we did was actually, as you do at PI planning, you take the feature and then you start discussing it. One of the particular things that I was brought in to talk about was the privacy aspect. So if we're going to give employers access to students' data, how would we do that? How would we give them access through the SAM system? How would we make sure that the students have actually provided authority so that the employers can access the student data, etc., etc. So the squad was very aware at that beginning that both Terence and I had interests in relation to the SAM's access, and that I had interests on behalf of the ARG in relation to the privacy activities. So the approach that we took was that initial aspect of PI planning, so the squad had a heads up on the sort of the detail that they'd have to go to, and about iteration probably 3, I think, maybe iteration 3 or 4, the squad asked for another meeting with me to talk about like a high level approach that they actually had discovered and who they'd spoken to in relation to privacy, etc., etc. And they presented a diagram. So I'll just, hopefully this diagram is visible. Those who wrote it will certainly know the detail, and you can see my scrawly bits. And the squad actually took me through the detail of a possible approach for employers, the ones on the named on the training plan, and how we could actually get them access to SAMs. So I loved this approach. I thought it worked really well because it showed me that there had been thought go into how would we address what the concerns were, both from a technical point of view but a process point of view as well. And so any of the questions that I had meant that they were able to show me how they were able to answer those. They also got a few more questions which they were able to go away and provide me with answers with as well, which was all good. But for them it was around putting in some thought to this level of detail about how could we do it before we actually built anything. So we didn't go down the path of building something and spending a lot of time doing that before actually checking back in with the senior stakeholders to actually say, is this going to be something that can work or not? Providing me with this level of detail also meant that I was able to talk to Maddie about it and actually walk her through the steps of the process and actually say, well, this is the point at which the employer will get notification that they're actually able to access the students' details. These are the students' details in the first instance that we'll actually be providing. This is how they'll be off-boarded, if you like, which means how they'll actually not have access to any students who they shouldn't have access to, and also accommodating the fact that if there's a period between students that we won't necessarily cut them automatically off SAMs because we would need to re-implement them within a short period of time, but they wouldn't have any access to any other students as well. So from a privacy point of view, we're actually covering off a lot of bases. So that's a snapshot of the process. The squad are now working to develop this, and so we've got
done actually. Yeah.
It's all done, is it? Thank you. So the squad has developed this. And so it was a bit of a snapshot about our approach to it and the iterative approach that we took to make sure that we were aligned in terms of the process, expectations, concerns, etc.
Thank you, Merryn.